Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of our sequence of virtual broadcasts from the Bulgarian Rose Valley. In today's episode, we're going to present you the 2020 rose crop. We're gathered here today with two main representatives from the Bulgarian essential oil industry, Mr. Filip Lisicharov, Vice Chairman of the Bulgarian National Association for Essential Oils, Perfumery and Cosmetics, and Chairman of the Bulgarian Rose Oil Association, together with Mr. Hristo Nikolov, Chairman of the Professional Association of the Rose Growers in Bulgaria. We will update you today on the current 2020 rose crop, the new law on rose, the challenges that rose farmers and essential oil producers are facing today, and of course we will give you some trends and expectations. We will start with you, Hristo. Can you tell us a little bit more about your organization and its goals?
Hello. Our organization, Professional Association of Rose Producers in Bulgaria, was established 1 year ago to represent farmers who are professionally engaged in rose production in Bulgaria. At the beginning, 52 rose growers took part in the establishment of the association, and till today we have more than 100 members, which are cultivating nearly 700 hectares with oil-bearing roses. Together we all work to preserve rose production and build a vision for its future in Bulgaria.
Great to hear that finally there is a professional association to represent the rose farmers. Hristo, what are the problems and challenges that rose farmers and growers are facing today?
Nowadays, farmers who are professionally engaged in rose production in Bulgaria are faced with many difficulties and challenges. First of all, we must know that this sector requires a lot of handwork and it becomes very difficult to find laborers, and it's very expensive nowadays. Another serious challenge before us is the constantly changing climatic conditions, which in recent years have created many difficulties in production and harvesting of rose plantations. For example, in this campaign 2020, we have a cold weather which makes cultivating longer periods than usual. It is easier for the rose processors in distilleries because they can work more precious in this campaign, but on the other side we have to pay much more for laborers to picking roses. And last but not least, many new plants have appeared in recent years, which has led to overproduction of roses and the impossibility of processing it in time in distilleries. This in turn lowers the price of our production, and it is a huge problem for farmers.
Thank you, Hristo. Now I turn to Filip to learn, is Bulgaria still the world leader in rose oil production, and how are the Bulgarian rose oil producers answering to the issues raised by the rose growers?
Bulgarian rose oil is recognized worldwide as the best top premium quality, and we've been having this reputation and history for over 350 years. So yes, we are still number one, but it is becoming very difficult to defend this number one position. In recent years, the policy which both farmers and producers are leading are not to the benefit of the industry. There were years when the prices for the rose flowers were at peak, high, unreasonable levels, and during these years we have lost markets, international markets. At the moment, we have started, for the first time in years, we have started a conversation, a dialogue with the Professional Association of the Rose Producers, of the new Professional Association of the Rose Producers. We've been talking with Hristo for the past 1 year and discussing many different subjects for the future of the industry. So this is a positive fact which I believe is going to keep us on the top and keep Bulgarian rose oil as #1 in the world. This year, we also are dealing with the COVID-19 situation, which is very unpleasant for us. I would say that there is huge uncertainty on the market. Traditional buyers from the past years are not so sure at this stage what volumes they will need of the Bulgarian pink goat. So this brings uncertainty to the whole market.
Difficult situation indeed. Bulgaria, with over 350 years of history and tradition in rose oil production, finally in January 2020, after 2 years of discussions, passed the new law on rose. Philip and Christo are two of the main screenwriters of this law. Now, I'll turn first to Philip. What is the purpose of this law, and will it be able to regulate the industry?
Finally, we have a law on rose. The purpose of this, there are many purposes of the law, but one of the main objectives of this law is to make the connection between the farmer and the producer direct, between farmer and processor. This is done in order to the benefit of both farmers and producers, so that the farmers can receive the just price for their labor, for their hard labor, without any money passing through mediocre contractors, which was the case in the past years. So this is one of the purposes of the new rose law, the direct connection between farmers and processors. Another objective is to have a clear view of the industry, how many hectares of rose fields we have, what sorts of rose flowers are planted. Christo can tell you more about the difficult and different problems in this area, but we would like to have a clear idea of what is the industry, what it looks like, so that tomorrow when somebody decides to plant roses, he can look at the statistics and make a justified decision whether to jump into this sector or go somewhere else. Because today we are here in 2020, and both farmers and processors having difficulties because we are working in the dark.
Thank you, Philip. Christo, to you now. What do you, as a representative of the rose growers and farmers, think about the new law?
Like farmers, we have big expectations on the new law, and actually the law is based on a register of producers and processors in the rose industry in Bulgaria, and its purpose is to show us in a short time the actual picture of the market of rose blossom and rose oil, rose water, and all the rose products in Bulgaria. The law establishes an order of negotiation directly between farmers and processors, and it eliminates the intermediaries, how Philip says. This is very important for us. We think that if we have direct connection from farmers to processors, on one side the farmer will receive the correct price for its product, and on the other side the processor can control the quality of the rose flowers that he is buying. Because if they use intermediaries, when the truck with rose flowers comes in the factory, they don't know which part is from one or other farm. So now, with direct connection between us, we can control the quality on one side, and to get the real price that farmers have to receive. So we hope that this law will help us to bring accurate statistics for the industry and allow us to plan and make strategies for the future, how Philip says.
Well, let us hope this law works to the benefit of both rose farmers and producers.
Yes, it works for both, for farmers and for producers at the same time.
Christo, working on a COVID-19 restrictions, how do rose farmers manage that?
Oh, it was really difficult. Working in a coronavirus and emergency situation in Bulgaria proved to be a huge challenge for us. We had to adapt to this situation in a short time and take safety measures, which cost us a lot of effort and money at the same time. But we are already at the third last part of the rose campaign for 2020, and everything so far shows that discipline and responsibility give us results. Most of the harvest has already been harvested and processed in the distilleries. Our people are alive and well, and we have not allowed the epidemic to spread. So I can say that together we, like professional associations and our government represented by the Ministry of Agriculture, do a lot of work in this emergency situation to can pick up all the roses and to process them. So here it is very important to note that our Ministry of Agriculture has always supported us and provided an opportunity for farmers to travel freely and to organize their work on the fields in all the time of the emergency situation. So we hope that after the end of the campaign this year we will receive financial support from our government so that farmers can cover the extraordinary costs of safety measures.
Thank you. And last question to both of you. How do you guys see the future of the rose industry?
I hope our future is rosy. When we sat down on the table to discuss the situation and the problems in the pink sector in Bulgaria maybe a year ago, at the beginning we were divided into three camps. On one side rose producers, on the other side rose processors, and on the third side was our government by the Ministry of Agriculture. Today, less than a year later, we have a new wall, and we can safely say that at the same table we stand side by side, farmers, processors and government, and together we are looking in one direction, and it is to ensure the stability of farmers and to preserve the image and markets of Bulgarian rose industry and rose products.
I'm optimist for the future. As Christo mentioned, the new rose law gave us the opportunity to sit together on the table. Farmers, producers and the government. So far, unlike previous governments, I would say that we are pleasantly surprised that we receive support to have a normal rose crop in this extraordinary situation under COVID-19. And of course, we hope that the government will support the farmers this year, because it's extraordinary in terms of the virus situation, but also because of the market situation as well. Bulgaria has its place, its reserve place on the world map, and I'm optimistic that we'll be together. We're going to be able to pass through these difficult times and have Bulgarian rose oil keep its place where it is supposed to be. It's the first steps have been made. We're talking, we're discussing, we're making strategy for the future years. Now, today, in beginning of June 2020, we're starting to talk about 2021 crop and how to find the balance between the interest to preserve the interest of the farmer and the producer at the same time. It is a very, I would say, thin balance, and sometimes difficult to find it in a market economy, but we believe that it may take time, but we are on the right way. This is for me something very, very new, because in the past years each one of us, farmer, producer, we have been fighting on our own. Now we have the opportunity together to make some clear rules, regulations based on the new law, and together with the support of the government, on which we very much count in terms of control at every level, to bring Bulgaria to the place where it is supposed to be. Control not only at the stage at the rose fields, at the factories, but also on the level of the final product. So we have to keep and to preserve the quality of Bulgarian rose oil, with which we have been famous for centuries. Bulgaria rose oil has its place in the perfumery market, but also growing markets and new applications like of the food industry, the pharmaceutical industry. There is certainly future for the premium, good quality Bulgarian rose oil.
Thank you for your time, guys. Hope you learned new things today, and come to see us in Bulgaria next May in 2021.